Hello again, I am Blunty, and this is the Zhiyun Smooth 2. I reviewed the Smooth 1 July last year, and if you bought one of those, there's no real reason to upgrade. I'm going to tell you now, this isn't a significant enough leap forward to justify an upgrade, but if you didn't pull the trigger back then when I reviewed it, now is the time to do it, because of course, second generation is better in pretty much every way. It is smaller. It is lighter. The cradle part where the phone goes has been improved, and that is kind of the story for the Smooth 2. It does the same kind of things in that it is a 3-axis gimbal designed to keep your phone stable and everything, but it does so in a smaller, more elegant, cleaner, tidier package that just makes everything a little bit nicer. Like pretty much every other 3-axis gimbal I've ever reviewed, it has three main modes. The first one being that it will follow you as you pan around, but keep the actual camera level and stable looking forward. You can hit the little joystick button once and that will lock in one direction, so you can sort of do slider style shots with it, and it doesn't matter how many different ways you twist this, it always point in whatever direction you set it at. You can also adjust the tilt as well using the little thumbstick if you need that. And the third mode, double click in and it will actually follow you tilt and pan, but keep it level so you can tilt up on things as you're panning and going around. But as kind of cool as it is to watch me sort of do this and see the phone sort of stay stable and level and everything, there's sort of looking at that and there's looking at the end result. And if you are new around here, end result is all I really care about. So let me show you what this thing does when you take it out in the real world and start actually shooting things with it. So yeah, like I said in my review last week about a big boy version of a gimbal like this, but made for big heavy cameras instead, it is not super important you understand exactly how it works, only that, as you can clearly see for yourself, it simply does work, and does so in a way that makes using it simple for even complete newbies out there. Now what you're seeing here is stuff I've shot with my iPhone 7 Plus, which has 3 cameras on it, only one of which has its own optical stabilization going on, and I will of course be showing you shots from all 3 of the cameras. But the telephoto lens, while it does like the optical stabilization of the wide-angle lens, it does in fact get a touch of digital stabilization. The footage, even handheld, turns out a bit smoother than what it looks like when you're shooting it on the screen. But even with static shots, the Smooth 2 can help soften out the remaining handheld jitter. And with static shots using the wide-angle lens, frankly you'd be forgiven for thinking shots like this were done on a tripod, not a lazy one-handed shot as indeed this is. But while the Smooth 2 can make subtle but significant differences while shooting static shots, it is of course while moving, or tracking moving subjects, where a gimbal like this really comes into its own. While walking, you'll still get a slight walking bob, but all of the jitter and the wobble and the off-level movement and tilting that usually come with handheld mobile phone videography are all but eliminated. Now, regular viewers around here will already know about my delight in finding out the new front-facing camera on the iPhone 7 Plus, which is what I'm using for this, if I haven't mentioned that already somewhere else in the video, is both wider in video mode and much higher quality than the old front-facing cameras on the iPhones used to be, which means, for people like me, it's actually useful now. The only problem is it does not have stabilizing on the front-facing camera of any kind. No digital, no optical, which would be ideal. So, that is where this comes in. As you can see for yourself, now a little bit of walk and talk with the front-facing camera, perfectly smooth, one-handed. As you can see, I can sort of, actually really can't see, I should get out the GoPro and show you my arm wiggling as I do this. In fact, give me a sec. All right, there we go. So now I've got the GoPro going. We'll get a little picture-in-picture action happening of just how much I am moving this stabilizer around, much more than would be natural for a walk and talk like this. I just want to sort of, I can't twist it that way actually. Let me just lock the axis here. There we go, now I can twist it around side to side and it will stay locked on me at all times. So yeah, it's what you call a game changer for filming with this thing, front-facing camera, for using it as a vlogging cam, for using it at events and doing interesting stuff. And just by way of demonstration about how dramatic a difference it actually is with the front-facing camera, you're now seeing obviously a side-by-side doing the same walk down this little path here. One with the stabilizer on, the other one without the stabilizer on. That guy's not saying anything because talking over myself is a little more than I can take. You done? Okay, let's move on. And as you've just seen, or heard, or not heard, I suppose, it's absolutely silent in operation, which is vitally important, of course. So even if you're using the onboard audio, which you probably will be if you're shooting with a mobile phone, you'll still get as clean a sound as possible. So let's try the reverse of that shot with the front-facing camera this time. The one I'm talking to you on is the one without the stabilization. Go up the stairs here. There's always a nightmare for keeping the camera stable, is stairs. Still one-handed, as you can see. Coming through here, through the arches. I do like the front-facing camera on the iPhone 7 Plus tends to avoid overexposing my face these days. The old one, not so much. Now, of course, it's not magic. If you want the very best out of it, you do still have to take some care in how you move. Move slowly, smoothly, walk carefully so the bobbing isn't too extreme, all that kind of stuff. And it's not a true replacement for things like cranes and jibs and sliders and all that, but it is absolutely the cheapest, easiest, lightest, fastest and simplest way to really very well emulate a lot of those fancy sliding and gliding and craning camera moves the pros use with all their thousands of dollars worth of big equipment to achieve. Equipment I have used in the past, but I've never really used in the field much because I can't be bothered carrying it all around. Unlike this little device. For something that can slide into even a small bag, there is no other kind of gear or rig out there that can make your shooting life as easy as this does. Setup alone takes literally moments, which is a huge advantage over all the other gear I'm talking about. The difference it can make to production quality is very significant, and there's next to no learning curve to get up and running with it, figuratively or literally. The single replaceable rechargeable lithium-ion 18650 battery will give you around about 5 hours of use. If you have spares, you can swap it out, or you can in fact recharge as you go from a standard backup battery device with the micro USB port on the side of the Smooth 2. So if you, like me, use your iPhone or indeed Android phone for creating content and you want to punch up your production value a bit further, get this thing. It's a relatively small investment for a device that will not only make your videos look much better, but can and will move with you through multiple phone upgrades. Because unlike some other accessories I've bought for my iPhones over the years, this one doesn't care about phone model. The clamp that holds onto the phone is utterly device agnostic. It doesn't care what you jam in there so long as it fits. Thanks for watching. I am Blunty, and I will catch you next time.
This is ZHIYUN-TECH. Thanks for watching us. If you like it, please help us push it up. Any suggestion, please comment us below. For more brilliant ZHIYUN videos, welcome to subscribe us.